How's this? How's this? How's this? Hi, welcome inside the mind of Matt. In this video, I'm going to talk about your nozzle. How close, how far? Do you want to be able to achieve some first level that looks like this? Then make sure that you stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. So in order to get a first level that's nice and smooth and you got all your lines consistent, the first thing that you're gonna obviously need is your bed to be properly trammed. Not leveled, but trammed. And if you don't know what that means, then go over to DIY 3D Tech's channel. I'll put a link up here and you can check out his video. He explained the whole tramming versus leveling process of a 3D printer. So with your bed properly trammed, which, just to recap what he's saying, is that the nozzle is going over the bed in all the directions, the same gap. So if you got that, your bed properly trammed. Now your level, you can adjust this super easy. So how do you do it? Well, it's all going to be in your slicer. So when you tram your bed properly and you got your nozzle set, where do you set your nozzle? Okay, well here's my theory on this whole thing. Okay, when you're hitting your home and your axes all hit their limit switches, okay, so your Z axis is where your nozzle is. It's going to come down and it's going to hit your limit switch, and that is where it's going to set 0. So that gap should be close to 0 as possible, because you're going to be printing at a layer height. Whether you're printing at 0.5, 1.5, 1, 2, 3, bigger nozzles, you can print at a bigger layer level. But whatever you're going to print, your first layer is going to be laid at what percentage above that bed. Well, that's a setting in your slicer. You can set your first level from 0 to 100 or above percent, that is, of your layer height. So if you've got your nozzle too far away from your bed, then that's 0. When you tell your printer it's going to start printing at, say, a 0.2 layer height, it's going to be 0.2 millimeters higher than what you've got as a gap. So if you've got that first gap at 0 and you say you're going to print at a 0.2 layer height, you're going to print at 0.2 above 0. So what happens if that's too high? Well, then you put a percentage. Now this CR10 that's in front of me, and you saw that quick little time lapse, I made a file that was 0.15 millimeters high. That's it. 100 by 100 by 0.15. That's what that is right there. That is where the sweet spot on my machine is, at 0.15. So if I'm printing at a layer height of 0.3, then I'm going to have to set my first layer to 50% to achieve that 0.5. So if I'm printing at a 0.2 layer height, then I would go at a 75%. If I'm printing at a 0.1 millimeter layer height, then I'm going to print at 150% at my first layer height. Let me demonstrate each one of those. So this is a 0.1 millimeter layer height with a first layer of 150%, which achieved my 0.15 first layer. And now we're going to print 0.3 millimeter layer height with a 50% first layer. So if I was to actually judge, not that this video is about layer height, but first layer height, my 0.2 kind of looks the best. But you'll have to play with your machine and find your sweet spot, but get your nozzle as close as you can with your bed trammed properly. Make sure that it doesn't touch or rub in any area. You're just close enough where it doesn't touch. And then all you have to do is adjust your percentage of your layer height to get to your sweet spot once you find your sweet spot. So I hope this tip helps, and if it does, make sure you hit that like button. Just adjust that little percentage of your first layer just a little bit, one way or another, until you get that sweet spot. Don't forget to stop over to 3dpc.tech for all kinds of things 3D printer related. Check out all my links down in the description if you want to do some shopping. It definitely helps out the channel. And by the way, this is Tesla's blue PLA that they sent me, and it's pretty nice. I'm going to show it off a little bit more in some other projects, but stay tuned. And make sure that you subscribe before you leave and keep on coming back, because there's going to be more inside the Mind of Matt. Happy printing and be safe board.